Hi, good afternoon, boys, or whenever you're watching this video, right? I'm here to deliver my captain's briefing. So the captain's briefing is basically a briefing that I conduct at the start of every year to run us through, right, what we have gone through over the past year, and as well as what you can look forward to in 2022, right? In this case, in 2022. Okay, so it is important, right, vitally important that you take note of the details, especially for what is to come this year, because there are quite a number of changes to the parade calendar and as well as the program that we are running this year. At the start of every year, as I mentioned last week already in the very first uh, sermon on Christian manliness, right, we start by talking about the framework, right, in which we conduct the BB company. Okay, and the basic framework that we operate on is from the object of the Boys Brigade. Right, I hope by now you have some familiarity with the object of the Boys Brigade. If not, I hope that you're familiar with it by the time we hit March, because that will be vitally important for what is to come in March. Okay, so this is the object of the Boys Brigade. Again, I want to emphasize the habits of obedience, reverence, discipline, self-respect, and all that tends towards a true Christian manliness. So basically, the programs that we run in the 33rd company hinges on these things, right? It helps you develop these habits, right, that's stated in the object. Of course, if you have also listened to Mr. Wee's, he was praying for the company. He mentioned about the two or the twin pillars, right, that the BB is founded on. So the twin pillars for the Boys Brigade is discipline and Christian education. Okay, so without these two pillars, whatever we do here means nothing. Okay, so we want to build our entire program on discipline as well as Christian education. In terms of the company, right, our mission is growing boys to serve and lead, preaching Christ, the BB way, and more important for the boys, right, for all of you, we want you to be a family of God-fearing boys passionate in making a difference. So if you have heard Mr. Wee's prayer for the company during BB Day, he actually prayed along the lines of this, right? Doing something, being disciplined to do something, to change the world, and in this case, to make a difference. That's what we want to do for the 33rd company. And we hope that through the events and the activities that you do, especially in this year, it teaches you what it means to make a difference both in your own lives, in the life of your family, in your class, and as well as the larger community. So this is the company mission and vision. I hope you can remember at least the vision, right? Because that is something that we hope out of all of you in Sec 4. So I've mentioned this last week during the sermon, and I'll mention it again today. The theme for 2022, is Christian manliness, right? So we are going to look at the fruit of the Spirit and how different characters in the Bible embody the different fruit of the Spirit to show us what Christian manliness is all about. So that's what you can look forward to for this year, and we hope to develop these traits in you as well, and that's why we got your squad to talk about three different fruit that you want to develop on. Okay, so it is the work between myself, the OCs, as well as with the squad leaders, right, to see how, right, we can build these traits or inculcate these traits in you across the year in 2022. So that's for the introduction. Let me jump straight in by looking back, right? Like first looking back at what happened in 2021. So for achievements as a company, in 2021, we got gold for BB Week, right? So I think our company did very well in our collection for BB Week, which allows us to have funds to continue, right, to run the programs that we are running. Okay, so this year we are looking to run more programs and camps for you, right? And where do all these funds come from? It comes from BB Week. So as you collect more, it gives us the capacity to do more things for you as well, to plan more things for you as well. Of course, we also have the character quest, where a lot of you represented the company for this competition. Okay, so I have not officially announced the results, but you would have seen the results, right, in your CCA cert, right? And so for those of you who represented the company, we came in with a gold honor roll for the competition. Okay, so overall as a company, we did very well across the board for national competitions. This year, right, we hope to perform the same way, right, to do as well, right, and that requires the help of all of you. For individual awards, for Founders Award, so Founders Award is the top award that is awarded to boys in the seniors program. Okay, so when you reach Sec 4, right, most of you would be trying to get this award called the Founders Award. And if you are diligent in completing your batch work, if you are showing leadership capabilities, if you are doing well in the CCA, if you are leading your peers well, you should be able to get this Founders Award. Okay, so last year, we have one recipient, Staff Sergeant Benjamin Ong, right? So if you don't know him, he was our admin IC in 2021, right? So he received this award. Of course, it was a pandemic year, so we couldn't really celebrate with him, but you would have seen him receive the award during the National Day celebrations in school as well. So that's for awards. Let's go into administrative matters. So this is the part that is important for you, so that you are kept in the know of what is going on and how BB can help you, right, in terms of achieving your CCA awards. So the first thing I want to talk about for administrative matters is how do you get announcements. Okay, how do you get announcements? Of course, announcements are made at the end of every parade, right? But let's just say you didn't come for a parade, right? So how do you know what the details are for the subsequent parade? The way to do it is to actually go to the members portal. Okay, and so in the members portal, this is the URL that is given to you, right? So you just need to type in this URL. Your user ID and your default password is BB33 and the last four characters of your NRIC. Okay, so BB33 and the last four characters of your NRIC. If, for some example, you logged in before, you have changed your password, but now you totally forgot what's your password, right? And you cannot log in. The way to retrieve your password is to come to me, right? Drop me a text or drop your COS a text so that they can forward it to me and I can help you reset your password back to the default. Okay, so the user ID and default password is BB33 and the last four characters of your NRIC. So at the end of today, this captain's briefing will be on the portal. It will also be disseminated to your parents for them to view, right? What can be found on the portal? The parade announcements can be found on the portal. Okay, so if you go into your dashboard after logging in, you should see whether or not there is a parade for that particular week. Okay, so the admin IC will put in the parade, whether or not there's a parade. And if you were to click company, so if you go to the top and click company and then click parade order, it will bring you to this page that will show you all the details of that particular parade. So for example, what's the attire? What do you need to bring? What are the various programs during that particular parade? Is all found under parade order. Okay, so if you are unsure whether or not there's a parade, what to wear for parade, what to bring, this is where you go. The excuse should not be my SL or my COS never tell me, right? If your SL and COS cannot reach you, right, this is where you go to get your parade details. Okay, so I expect every single one of you to at least go in to check whether or not there's a parade, right? And the admin IC will make sure that he updates the portal every time. What else can you find from the portal? You can also find out the awards that you have. Okay, so if you go to profile and then you click awards, you will be able to see every single badge that you have already attained. Okay, so for example, if on your chevron, right, on your chevron, you don't know, right, which badge you should have or what badges you have lost or which badge needs a white cloth because you're on stage 2, where do you go? You go to the portal to check out, right? Okay, so I expect you to go in to check whether or not you have received the badges that you are supposed to get and whether or not you have lost them, and then we will find some way to get it replaced for you, or you head down to BBHQ to purchase the badges for yourself, right? Okay, so this is what you can do on the members portal. Over time, we will start to develop this members portal, so make sure that you can log in because there will be certain activities during the year where you will be required to log into the members portal for you to do some kind of work for certain batch work. Alright, so that's for admin matters with regards to the portal. The next thing that I want to talk about is also what happens when you are not here for parade. If you are not here for parade, either an MC, right? So most of the time, if you're not here for parade, is because you're also not here from school, right? So you can use the same MC. Make sure that you submit a photocopy of your MC to your level teacher. So it can either be an MC, or if it's a family if it's a family function or something happened to you that you cannot see the doctor for, but your family or your parents need to write a parent's letter. Okay, so it's either an MC, a parent's letter, or if it's a formal event by the school, there should be an excuse from the school, which most of the time the teachers will know about it as already. I want to say this, that every time that you are not here, you are expected to submit any one of these three to your level teacher. If at any point in time you are not here, but these things do not reach your level teacher, there will be disciplinary action taken against you. Okay, I say again, this is beyond my control because this is set down by the school. If at any point in time you are not in parade or you are absent from BB, you are required to submit one of these three things. Okay, and when do you submit? You submit it the very next day you are back in school. So if you're absent on Friday for parade, you submit it on Monday when you're back in school, or if your MC is an extended MC, you submit it the next time you're back in school. Next up, also on administrative matters, is the promotion criteria for 2022. Alright, so as we all know, over the past 2 years, we have not been having our regular parades in the regular fashion. We are not able to have camps. So because of that, we have to make some kind of adjustments when it comes to the promotion criteria. So what you see now on the screen relates to the Sec 2s, right? So for Sec 2s, you should be able to be promoted up to the rank of corporal by the end of this year. And what's the criteria? The criteria is for you to get at least 80% attendance. You of course need to have good behavior in BB and in school. You need to obtain your stage 1. You need to obtain stage 1 in 6 badges, which most of you already have, right? So that is a requirement that has already been satisfied by most of you. And you need to attend LDC 1, which will be conducted at the end of the year. So if you complete all these things and attend LDC 1 at the end of the year, you will be promoted to the rank of corporal by the end of the year. Okay, so this is for Sec 2s. For the Sec 3s and Sec 4s, your promotion criteria is slightly different because most of you will have attained most of your badges. So the promotion criteria for Sec 3s and Sec 4s is qualitative, right? So what we will do is we will assess each one of you based on the 4 C's of leadership. Okay, of course, same thing, your character both in BB and in school, your commitment to the CCA, right? How much time you put in into the BB, whether or not you are committed to the respective assignments that are given to you. We also evaluate you based on your competence. Right? So for example, if you are given a particular role, how fast you learn to be in the role, or how teachable you are to learn about the things that is required of you in that role. Right? So for example, if you were to be made a squad leader, or if you are already a squad leader, right, some of the things that we require out of a squad leader, for example, is to make sure that you take care of your boys, you are able to teach drill in a proper manner, and you're able to support your COS, right, in upholding the values of your sub-COI and of the company. So these are things that we talk about when we talk about competence, and we will evaluate you based on that. And of course, connection, that's the last C, right? So for connection is how you relate with your peers, right? How you relate with the officers and primers, and how you relate with younger boys. So these are the criteria for promotion from the rank of corporal to sergeant, and from sergeant to staff sergeant for the Sec 3s. And of course, for the Sec 4s, for those of you who are still sergeant, the promotion to staff sergeant, and for those of you who are staff sergeant, your promotion to warrant officer by March this year. That's the promotion criteria for this year. If you have any questions with regards to the promotion criteria, or at any point in the year when there is a promotion and you're not promoted, I urge you to come and speak to the officers, preferably your level OC, so that he can explain to you why you are not promoted during that particular round of promotion. Okay, so I leave it I make it a point, right, to go through every single boy to talk about why they are or are not promoted. If you want to know why, you should come to us to find out why. Okay, so that's for promotion. Promotion is vitally important. Why? Because it affects your CCA points, which is what I want to talk about next. Okay, so for CCA points, right, I think most of you are familiar with this framework already. If you don't know, it is also found on the school website, so you can just go to the school website and just click around and find this, right? I just want to emphasize the point that is found in the yellow box, because that's what we should all be, all of us, right? All of us should be aiming for. Basically, to get excellent, to have a 2 points deduction for your O or N level results, you need to attain a minimum of level 3 in all 4 domains. So there are 4 domains in your CCA points, right? You need to have a minimum of level 3 in all 4 of them, and you need to have at least a level 4 in one of the domain. Okay, I just want to assure you that if you regularly come for parade, this criteria should not be difficult for you to meet. Okay, and to show you why it is not difficult, I have already done a breakdown for you. So again, focusing on the yellow column, right, that's level 4. For most of you, if you come for CCA regularly, if you have if you have a good conduct in school, right, level 4 should not be difficult to attain for all of you. Alright, so I want to emphasize that if you are active in parade, you come for parade, you meet your attendance requirement, level 4 for participation, not difficult to attain. Level 4 for service, if you have done BB Cares and or BBSG for this year, right, which we will talk about slightly later in the year, right, but if you have done BB Cares and completed your hours, the 24 hours is not difficult to attain. You should be also conducting VIA projects either with your class or with BB when you participate in BB Cares. Okay, so same thing for leadership, level 4 not difficult to attain, right? The rank of staff sergeant will not be difficult if you come regularly and you don't give us any problems both in school and in BB. The rank of staff sergeant will not be difficult to attain, and you will get level 4. And lastly, for achievement, if you represent the school in 3 competitions, right, across the 4 years that you are with the school, or you have attained a placement at 2 competitions. So those of you who represented the company for BB for CQ last year, you have already meet one of the 2 requirement for representation and attainment of placing, right, under as representing the school. Okay, or if you get senior proficiency award. Okay, so senior proficiency award is an award that 90 to 95% of our boys, well, some years we do get 100%, right? So 90 to about 100% of our boys will attain by the time they reach the start of Sec 4. Okay, so if you meet any of these requirements, you will get level 4. So actually it is not difficult to get level 4 for all 4 domains. I would even go further to say that it is not difficult to get level 5 in all 4 domains as well, if you are regular in parade and you show various capacities and competencies as a BB boy. Okay, so I'm saying this also to the Sec 2s because your CCA journey has already started last year. Everything builds up from the time you come into BB in Sec 1. Okay, so if you want to get this 2 points deduction, if you do want to get this 2 points deduction, you need to put in your effort as well. Alright, so that's what CCA points is about. Right, at any point in time, if you have any questions, especially if your parents have any questions with regards to CCA points, they can either refer to the school website or they can contact myself or the teachers. We will be happy to explain what is required under each of the domain for you, okay, or to your parents, right? So this affects the next step of your education journey, right? So as much as possible, be participative, be active in the BB, and I think you will not face much issues by for getting excellence for CCA points. Alright, so that's CCA points. That concludes the admin section. Okay, of course there are many more administrative matters that that's important to talk about, but we don't have a lot of time, so I'll just leave it as it is right now. As the year progresses, we will fill you in with more details as required. The next thing I want to talk about is new to not just you, but also to the officers and myself. Okay, maybe not so new to myself because I've heard about this for 5 years, but it will be implemented at the start of this year. So all of us, every single one of you, from Sec 1 all the way to Sec 4, fall under this new awards framework. Okay, so you need to be attentive to what is the requirement for this new awards framework. For the Sec 4s, there is nothing much you can do now to change anything, right, with regards to whether or not you can get Founders Award, right? So maybe it doesn't really apply to you, right? But for the Sec 1s to Sec 3s, all of you fall under this new awards framework. So let me just take some moments to explain the gist of it, right? And then we will get familiar with it as we move along the year. Okay, so the first thing you need to know is that under the new awards framework, right, there are 4 domains. Okay, there are 4 domains: personal mastery, community spiritedness, global awareness, and leadership. Okay, there are 4 domains in the awards framework, and each domain has 3 levels. In order for you to get Founders Award, which if you remember is the highest award, you need to get the 3rd level. You need to get the 3rd level for all 4 domains. Okay, you need to get the 3rd level for all 4 domains. Not difficult. In fact, it is easier than in previous years. Okay, so give me some time to explain it to you. The first one, personal mastery. For personal mastery, in the past, in the BB, if you actually look at your chevron now, you have a lot of different badges, right? You have a lot of different badges, and some of them are core badges, some of them are elective badges. Okay, and we have a lot of core badges in the past. So you see badges like, for example, adventure, you see badges like citizenship, you see badges like drill. All these are core badges. Okay, of course there's more, there's life skills, Christian education, all these are core badges. Okay, the BBHQ has streamlined the program, so now there are only 2 core awards. Only 2 core awards. There are adventure and drill. Okay, so 2 core awards, and you have a list of electives. Okay, so the list that you see on the screen right now, those are the electives that are offered by our company. Okay, of course the list is much longer, but these are the ones that are offered by our company. Okay, so how do you get the 3 different stages? Okay, so stage 1 has now been renamed to basic. Okay, stage 2 has been renamed to advanced, and stage 3 has been renamed to master. So in order to get basic, you need a combination of core badges and elective badges. Okay, so in order to get basic, you need to have a combination of core badges and elective badges, and the total number of points you need is 3. Okay, so what do I mean by that? So for example, if I have stage 1 in adventure, that is 1 point. If I have stage 1 in drill, that is another point. Okay, so now I have a total of 2 points already, right? Then what I need to do is I need to choose one of these elective and do the elective and get stage 1 for that elective, and that's 3 points. So once I get 3 points, I get basic. Okay, so if you look at your chevron, if you go home and look at your chevron, right, most of you, right, would have already gotten these 3 points, especially if I'm referring to the Sec 2s, right? Most of you would have already gotten these 3 points because you already have adventure, and some of you have 2 electives already. Okay, so that's for basic. For advanced, you need a total of 6 points. So let me give you an example of what 6 points look like. If you have stage 2, right, if you have stage 2 in adventure, you get 1 point from stage 1 and another 2 points from stage 2. Okay, so that's what this plus 1 point plus 2 points mean, right? So actually, if I have stage 2 in adventure, I actually have 3 points, right? Because it's 1 point from stage 1 and an additional 2 points from stage 2. So I will have 3 points. Okay, so if I have adventure stage 2, I would already have 3 points. And if I have drill stage 2, I have another 3 points, which gives me a total of 6 points. So once I have this, I meet the requirement for advanced. Okay, and for master, it just means that you need to have another 2 electives at stage 1. That's basically what it means, right? Because I already have 6 points, right, from adventure stage 2, drill stage 2, and then I need another 2 points. Where do I get the 2 points from? I get it from my electives. It can either be a stage 1 elective, right? I need to do 2 of them, or I just need to have stage 2 in one of the electives, right? That gives me a total of another 3 points. Okay, so it might sound confusing with all this addition and subtraction. Rest assured, if you come for parade, all these things will be settled for you, right? If you regularly come for parade, you will not have any issues counting the number of points because you would have the maximum points. The program is already designed to take all these things into account. All right? So that's for personal mastery. If you get basic, right? If you get basic for personal mastery, you are one step closer towards getting the intermediate proficiency award. If you have advanced in personal mastery, you are one step closer to getting the senior proficiency award. And if you have master, you're one step closer to getting the founders award. All right. Next, for community spiritedness, not a lot of change, right? Basically 2 components for community spiritedness. You need to do both in a year to clock, right, your different stages. So every year, if you fulfill the requirement, you move up, right? You start from base. So if you meet the requirement for first year, you get basic, right? If you meet the requirement for a second year, you get advanced, right? If you meet the requirement for the third year and you do a BB share gift duty, you meet the requirements for master. Okay, so basically, again, if you do BB cares and BB share gift for 15 hours each year, and you engage one stakeholder, right? I will talk about that slightly later, right? If you do 15 hours of community service hours and you engage one stakeholder in BB, you will get basic. You move on to Sec 2 or you move on to Sec 3, you do the same thing, you get advanced. You move on, right? At the end of the Sec 3 year, you do this share gift duty, you will get master. Okay, so that's how it will look like as you progress across the year, right? So most of you are still on track, right, to get the master level for community service. Okay, so let me talk about what this stakeholder engagement of stakeholder means. Okay, so in the BB company, we have multiple stakeholders. Who are the stakeholders? They are basically people who have interest in what we do in the company. So I've listed, right, our stakeholders there. The school is one of them. BB alumni is another one of them. Of course, your parents, that's the third one. And of course, the church, that's the fourth one. So these are the 4 stakeholders that we have, right, in the BB company. During the year, we will have activities for you to, for example, invite your parents to the company and you engage them either by doing ushering duty or engaging your parents by doing certain activities with them. All these things count towards engaging a stakeholder for the year. Okay, so this year we have already planned for activities where you can engage the school, engage the church, which is Aldersgate Methodist Church, and also the BB alumni and the parents. Okay, so there are a host of activities that allow you to engage these stakeholders, right? If you come, you participate, you are actively participating, this requirement will be settled for you. Okay, so again, my main message to you is be active during BB parades. You will be fine. All right, the third one is global awareness. So global awareness is basically a replacement for citizenship. So citizenship used to be a core badge. Now it is taken out from your personal mastery and placed as a award on its own. Basically what happens is, for basic, so for the Sec 2s, you will just go through 3 modules, right? You will go through 3 modules. You complete the 3 modules, you are automatically given the badge. Okay, so how do you complete the 3 modules? Come for parade. All right, for advanced, so this is for the Sec 3s, right? So for the Sec 3s, you need to have an in-depth research of one of the 3 modules that you cover in the year. Okay, so this year we will cover the 3 modules. and then you will do an in-depth research on one of the three modules, right? And then for master level, which is for Founders Award, for Founders Award, you need to take this research, in-depth research, and develop it into an action plan. Okay, after developing it into an action plan, you will present it, right, to the assessors at BBHQ. Once that is done, you get master level, you are another step closer to Founders Award. Okay, so when you look at basic, advanced, and master, you can think of it as Sec 1, Sec 2, Sec 3. Okay, so by the end of Sec 2, what you want to achieve, right, is to do an in-depth research in one of the three focus that you have gone through when you're in Sec 1. So it develops across the year. Alright, so that's for global awareness. It might sound confusing right now, okay, but it is basically a progression that you go through since Sec 1, because the entire company is shifting into this new awards curriculum, right? We will make adjustments along the way so that you are able to complete the requirements for the year. Okay, so rest assured about that. And the last one is on leadership. Basically, leadership means you will go through certain lessons on leadership, right? Most of them during your leadership development course at the end of Sec 2. Okay, so at the end of Sec 2, you have finished your leadership development course. Throughout the year, we will require Sec 2s and Sec 3s to start journaling your leadership journey. Okay, all these things form part of the leadership framework or the leadership program under the new awards framework. Okay, and for Sec 3s, if all things go well, we have no additional restrictions and there is easing of restrictions, you will be required to attend the National Leadership Camp. This is a camp that is conducted by BBHQ, which involves all the companies in Singapore. After you attend the camp, you would have achieved master level for leadership. Okay, so these are the 4 domains under the new awards framework. It is confusing. We are all progressing through it together, right? But if you need any clarity on it, right, you can again come to me with your questions. More importantly, I want to emphasize that if you do regularly come for parade and you submit the required work along the way, you will be fine. Okay, you will be fine. At least for the batch work, you would complete all of them. Okay, next, I want to talk about our key programs in 2022. After talking about the new awards framework, let me talk about the key programs of 2022. And what I have listed over here are basically all the programs that you can look forward to in the year. So for Sec 2s, there are some external courses that you can participate in, right? What are these courses for? These courses basically help you attain the national event, the national event requirement for Founders Award. Okay, next, you will also look forward to attending Leadership Development Camp, which is going to be conducted at the end of this year. Okay, so LDC, you have heard your seniors talk about LDC, right? LDC is basically a camp where together as a level, you will go through a shared experience. Okay, you will go through a shared experience, leading each other, having opportunities to lead the Sec 1s, and through that camp, you will learn various leadership skills, which is also a requirement for your promotion to the rank of corporal. Okay, for Sec 3s, there is this thing called a Year 3 assessment. The Year 3 assessment basically is an assessment that basically assesses all the things that you have gone through in BB. Okay, so it's like think of it as like a O-level kind of thing, right? At the end of 3 years, right, you sit for this test that basically assesses you on all the things you have gone through in BB. Again, we will prepare you for this assessment, but it is also, the onus is also on you to make sure that you keep stock of what you have learned as well. Okay, and of course, I've mentioned before, National Leadership Camp. Okay, for the Sec 1s to Sec 4s, right, there are a few camps that you can look forward to. Firstly, the company March camp. Okay, so we are holding a camp in March, during the March holidays. Okay, this March camp is to bring the entire company together. Hopefully, we can do it as a day camp style. So you will come together as a company, right, during the entire camp, the Sec 3s and Sec 4s will start doing their handover. So the Sec 3s will take over from the Sec 4s, the Sec 4s will teach the Sec 3s on what to do. Sec 1s and Sec 2s, when you come for this particular camp, you are also here to learn about the culture of the company, the traditions of the company, and we will go through certain programs together as an entire company. Okay, so we have kickstarted the planning for company March camp, right? So I hope you look forward to the camp. The dates have already been provided to you through a circular to your parents. Okay, so the company calendar has already been circulated, right? It can also be found on the members portal, and we have also requested for the COSs to send it out to you through your various chat groups. Okay, so you already have the company calendar. You need to block out those dates. Okay, don't go and plan for staycation or VTL trips, right? Don't do that. Block out those dates. You are required to attend the camp. It is a compulsory camp. Right, in the middle of the year, right, we will say goodbye to the Sec 4s at the end of March camp. So for annual camp, it will only be Sec 1s to Sec 3. It will be a fun camp. Okay, so annual camp is basically a fun camp. We will do things together as a company. Over the past many years, we have done quite cool stuff, right? Things like kayaking to Kelong to have a meal, right? We have also gone to Pulau Ubin before, right? We have stayed at a chalet by booking out the entire chalet, and we have stayed together. Hopefully by then restrictions are a bit have eased a bit. Otherwise, we will have day camp where together as a company we will come down together and we will complete certain fun activities together as a company. Okay, and at the end of the year, we can all look forward to Kayaking Star 1. This is on a sign-up basis, so this is part of the elective that we talked about earlier, right? So the company will be organizing Kayaking Star 1, and we will be inviting you to sign up to attend this Kayaking Star 1 course. Okay, so this is on a sign-up basis. The company will be paying for you, right, to attend this course. After attending this course, you can get certification to do kayaking. Okay, so these are the special programs for 2022. If you go and look into the company calendar, there are other special activities that are happening throughout the year, right? But I don't want to talk about them right now because some of the details are still not completed yet. But what will happen is, as the year progresses and as we come closer to the dates, I will start introducing these things to you and how you can be involved in these activities. All right. Next, I want to talk about our subcoys, right? So this is the 4th year, right? So this is the 4th year that we are running this new company structure with this subcoy structure. So the whole idea of having subcoy, where the subcoy is, a mixture of boys from different levels, it is for you to be able to interact with seniors or juniors from other levels. Okay, most of the time when you're in school, you are either in your class or in your level alone, right? But what we want to do in the BB is to give you this opportunity to interact with boys from various levels, right? And to hear about their life story, learn from them, be mentored by them, and so on and so forth. So that's why our company has this subcoy structure, and we are running for the 4th year, and we find that it's an effective way of building our leaders as well, to be good role models for the younger boys. Okay, so we're going to keep this company structure, right? I hope that you can actively participate in your subcoy activities, especially when your COS engage you, right? So be active in what you do for subcoy events. If not, I will introduce to you the company leaders, the leaders of the company. Okay, so from Atlas subcoy, right? From Atlas, if you don't know, Atlas is endurance, has the meaning of endurance, right, in the Greek language. Okay, your COS, if you don't know by now, is Zechariah, Staff Sergeant Zechariah, and these are your squad leaders. Okay, right? For Baruch, it is a Hebrew word, right, for blessed. Right, it's a Hebrew word for blessed. Your COS is Sergeant Josh Vu, and these are your squad leaders. For Cyrus is Persian for visionary, right? Your COS is Staff Sergeant Renee Chia, and these are your squad leaders. And of course, the company cannot function just with COSs and SLs. We also have other personnel in the company, right, to make sure that the company can function, and weekly parades are looked into. Of course, you have the CSM, Staff Sergeant Nathaniel Tang. We also have portfolio ICs. Okay, so these portfolio ICs look into the administrative work of the company, things that happen behind the scenes, or to provide you with the classroom that you have right now, the laptop that you have right now to watch this video, right? So these are the people that are involved. Your portfolio ICs are Thaddeus Teo, right? Staff Sergeant Thaddeus Teo, portfolio IC of admin, Sergeant Caleb Lee, portfolio IC of community development, and Sergeant Jeremy Chan, who is the portfolio IC of operations. Right, so these are the leaders of the company, right? They will lead you until March. After that, the Sec 3s will take over. Then I'll introduce the Sec 3 leaders to you in March. Okay, lastly, I want to talk about the BB teachers and officers, right? The key people that you will see, and especially the level OCs, so that you know who they are, right? The first group of people that I want to introduce are our chaplains. Our chaplains are very important people because they look at the spiritual growth of the company, and I work very closely with them when it comes to the CE, or the Christian education elements of the company. Okay, so our chaplain is Reverend Jeremy Yap, right? He is a pastor from Aldersgate Methodist Church, which is also our sponsoring church. I think you have seen him multiple times during chapel, right? So he is our chaplain, right? You will see him speak to you in various occasions during the year as well. Our assistant chaplain is Preacher Rufus Chan, also from Aldersgate Methodist Church. Basically, he is a preacher in the church, and he is our assistant chaplain for this year. Okay, so if you're familiar with Mr. Christopher Cheng, Mr. Christopher Cheng was our chaplain last year, but he has moved on to do other things, right, in his life. He has left the church to do other things. Okay, so as a result of that, he will relinquish his role as an assistant chaplain, but he will continue to join us, right? He will continue to join us as an officer in the company. The next slide, important people, right? So your level teachers and officers. The level teachers are the people that you go to if you want to submit your MC, or you have any issues with regards to things that are in BB, right? You can go and look for your respective level teachers. So Sec 1 is Mr. Alvin Chua, Sec 2 is Mrs. Elijah, Sec 3 is Mr. Danish, and Sec 4 is Miss Brenda New. Okay, so you have already seen them last year during BS. They will follow you up this year as well, right? So you will see them during BS as well. You will see them during parade as well. The level officers, or the officer commanding, right, for Sec 1 is Mr. Mark Fayen. I think some of you have not seen him before because he is currently serving his army, his national service. He will be done at the end of January, and then you will start to see him a bit more often. Okay, so he is the officer commanding of Sec 1s. The officer of the level is Mr. Samuel Wong. So they will work closely together with Mr. Chua to bring the Sec 1s through their program. For Sec 2 is Mr. Luke Ng. You have seen him as well, and Mr. Leong Kit Ming. For Sec 3s is myself and Mr. Joseph Tan. Mr. Joseph Tan has just entered into army, so you will see a bit lesser of him, but definitely you will see me. Okay, and for Sec 4 is Mr. Christopher Teo. Enjoy your last few weeks with him before you graduate from BB. Okay, and of course I myself, I'm taking the primers, both the year 1 and year 2 primers. Okay, so you will realize that our company is built on this principle where there are officers that are attached to the different levels together with the teachers, right, to look after the development, right, your well-being and things along that line. Okay, so if there's anything that you want to talk about with regards to BB program, about your own life, about your promotion, or anything, right, that you want to talk about, you can feel free to talk to the level teachers or the level officers that's attached to your level. Of course, there are also other officers, right, that are in the company, right? The company have more than just these officers. These officers are people that are running the background work of the company, right? So for awards and admin, so administration of awards, we have Mrs. Elijah and Mr. Jeremy Teo. Okay, so Mr. Jeremy Teo is the one that keeps track of your badges to make sure that you get, or you're awarded the badge that you have on your chevron. Okay, so that's what Mr. Jeremy Teo is doing. All right, community development, that's under Mr. Christopher Teo, so he works closely with Caleb, right? to talk about things like our social media platform, what are the values that we can teach our boys and things like that. Operations and logistics is Mr. Peter Chong. And of course, we have other officers and volunteers with us. You will see slightly less of them because either they are officers when I was a boy, right? So they have been serving for the longest of time and they have moved on to different roles either at HQ or supporting us in the church, right? And of course, we have also younger officers who have just entered army and are waiting to come out, so they are not placed in an official role yet. They are all under this list. So these are the officers. I want to talk about a key partner that we have in 33rd. I mentioned before that we have stakeholders, and one of the stakeholders is Aldersgate Methodist Church, and Aldersgate Methodist Church has a youth ministry. So if you want to be part of a youth group, or if you want to explore what Christianity is about, right, you can come to Euphoria, right, which is the youth ministry of Aldersgate Methodist Church. You will see a few officers at Aldersgate. You will see a few of your seniors at Euphoria, right? In fact, some of you are in Euphoria, right? So if you want to have a community outside of BB and you want to explore Christianity, or you are already a Christian and you want to look for a church to attend, Euphoria can be a place that you consider. All right, so the details are there. They have an Instagram handle, or if you want to attend Euphoria, you can come and look for myself, right? I can bring you on Sunday to Euphoria and place you in very good hands with the people in there. And lastly, right, to end off my captain's briefing, I want to give out some awards, right? And these awards are from the activities that you guys participated in last year. Okay, so we are going to have a prize presentation to wrap up the captain's briefing. 2 categories of awards. The first one are for those who represented the company in CQ, right? So the respective primers and teachers or officers are already in your classroom. What will happen is we will flash the names on the screen, right? And then you can pause the video and then we will just do a round of prize giving for the boys who represent the company for CQ. Alright, so this is the list of boys that represented the company. Collectively, they have come together and achieved the gold honor roll for our company. Alright, so you can pause the video right now and you can have a round of prize presentation in your own classroom. Okay, the next round of prize presentation are for those who actively participated, right, in our Steadfast Challenge. Right, so at the last parade, right, at the last E-parade of last year, I announced to you the start of the Steadfast Challenge, right? And over the course of the December holidays, some of you have really participated and have actively participated on Strava. Okay, so I have compiled a list of boys who have actively participated in the Steadfast Challenge. So you have clocked in your distance, you are actively participating in the reflections, and the names are here. So again, we will have a round of prize presentation. It is already grouped according to Subcoy, right? I will invite the primer or the teacher or the officer in your classroom to give out the prizes to these boys. Because of their active participation, they've earned themselves a pair of movie tickets that they can use, right, to watch a movie with whoever they choose, right? So I'll let you pause the video right now to give out the prizes. Okay, if not, congratulations to those who have won prizes, right? If not, this concludes the captain's briefing. This video, right, that you're currently watching is available online at any point in time throughout the year. You want to go back to check the CCA requirements or the promotion criteria or the new awards framework, you can come back to this particular video. The link of this video is also embedded on the members portal. So if you are unsure, right, where to get this information from, the members portal is the place for you to get the link for this video. We will also try to share this video with your parents, right, so they're also aware of what you are going through in the BB as well. Okay, if not, that's all I have for a captain's briefing. I'll see you during parade. Bye.